This year's all about him having a good time. He's had like 8 years where it mattered every summer. And this year, I mean, it's, you don't want to give a year away. So, I mean, and we talked about it earlier. Hey, if you're training hard, you'll get some time to do some stuff you want to do. And we agreed to that clear back in November. So we're just holding to what we talked about. He's training well, and obviously it's working. So.
All right, so I'm watching this board, and I genuinely had to blink twice, because I did not expect to see this time pop up next to Noah's name this year. Of all years, 9.79, a new personal best, another US title, and I'm sitting here like, wait, hold on, run that back, because just a few months ago, half of this sport had basically buried this man, and now he's out here dropping a PB like it's nothing. So let me walk you through how we actually got here, because the road to that 9.79 is way more interesting than the number itself. Rewind to last year, because 2025 was rough for Noah, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Man's dealing with an ankle injury heading into the season that limits how much he can train, limits how many races he can even get into. And for a sprinter, that's not a small thing, that's everything, because your whole season is built on reps and preparation. Early on, you start seeing cracks. Oblique Seville edges him at Lausanne in the 200. And I remember watching that thinking, okay, that's a real shift. That's not just a bad day. That's somebody younger and hungrier stepping into the gap. Then you get to Tokyo Worlds, and the 100-meter final happens, and it's an actual upset. Seville wins it, Kashane Thompson takes silver, and Noah, the reigning face of this sport, walks away with bronze. First time he's lost a major 100 final since 2023. And that right there, that's the moment people quietly started writing him off. And I'm going to be honest with you, I was one of the people asking questions too, because I watched what people were saying online, and a lot of it wasn't unfair. People were straight up saying his times are mid-level, mediocre, especially next to Bolt, that he's needed 3 separate personal bests over the years just to keep winning races, PBs that are still slower than some of the guys he's beating. Somebody pointed out he'd broken 9.80 exactly once in his career, and wondered out loud if he'd ever see 9.75. And then you look at Kashane Thompson, brand new to the pro ranks, already stacking multiple sub 9.80 runs, and people are calling that real talent, real gift, while Noah's getting called flashy with mid-level numbers. I'm not saying I agreed with all of it, but I understood exactly why people were saying it, because on paper at that point, it was a fair argument. Now here's the twist, and this is the part that makes this whole thing hit different. This year wasn't even supposed to be a big year for him. His coach, Lance Brauman, said it straight up. This season was about Noah having fun, not grinding the way he had to for the past 8 years where every single summer mattered because there was always a Worlds or an Olympics on the line. No Olympics this year, no major championship pressure the same way. So the whole approach going in was relaxed, lower stakes, let the man enjoy the sport again. And nobody, and I mean nobody, expected a statement performance to come out of a year that was supposed to be a breather. But that's exactly what happened. He runs the 9.79, ties, then confirms it. Brand new PB, another US title in the bag. And when you actually listen to what his coach said about how they got there.
Have there been anything technically that Noah has kind of changed for this year leading into the next couple years?
I mean, I think that the start's getting better because he's got a guy that can start every day with him in training, and those two guys are, him and Jordan Anthony are feeding off each other, and they're both getting better.
It clicks into place. Jordan Anthony's been in that training group with him, and the two of them have been pushing each other every single day. Iron sharpens iron. That's literally how his coach described it. And specifically, the start has been getting better because now Noah's got somebody training right next to him who's got one of the best starts in the sport. Think about that for a second. The exact weakness that got exposed in Tokyo, the slow start that lets Seville and Thompson get ahead of him, that's the exact thing he just fixed. That's not a coincidence to me. That's a man and his team identifying the problem and going straight at it. Now zoom out with me for a second, because I need you to remember who we're actually talking about here. This is a guy who grew up dealing with asthma and ADHD as a kid, homeschooled, still finds a way to win gold at the Youth Olympics at 17 years old. This is the same guy who goes to Budapest in 2023 and pulls off the triple, gold in the 100, gold in the 200, gold in the relay, First man to do that since Usain Bolt himself. This is the same guy who tests positive for COVID 2 days before the Paris 2024 200 final and still fights his way to bronze, gets wheeled off the track afterward because his body was completely done. So when people act like one bad year in 2025 means he's finished, I think they forgot exactly who they're dealing with. This is a pattern with this man. People write him off and he answers. And look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's Bolt, because he's not, and honestly, I don't think he needs to be. Bolt ran basically uncontested for most of his prime. Nobody was pushing him the way Noah's getting pushed right now by Seville, Thompson, Jordan Anthony, all of them nipping at him every single race. Noah's PBs might be a step behind Bolt's peak numbers, but he's earning every single one of them in a field that's deeper and more dangerous than anything Bolt ever had to deal with. So when I hear mediocre, I just don't see it that way. I see a guy fighting through a legitimately stacked era and still finding a way to come out on top. So that's where I'm at with this one. Everybody had this man buried after Tokyo, questioning his times, questioning his start, questioning whether the next generation had already passed him, and he goes and answers back in the exact event where his weakness got exposed. I rest my case. Let me know in the comments where this puts him heading into the rest of the season. I read every single one of them, and as always, fast is a lifestyle. And if you rock with what we're doing here, go ahead and like and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. G8.